Okay guys, we need to talk about it. Is the millennial generation literally the lamest? Hi, Ridge here, and today we're going to talk about our generation. Like, are we doing things right? Are we set for the future? And we're just going to be honest. If this is your first time here on this channel and you're interested in starting or continuing your journey to wealth, take that first step by hitting the subscribe button below, the bell notification, so you don't miss any videos or steps that we're taking on our journey to wealth. I heard Aziz Ansari refer to generations as if they were text fonts. The greatest generation would probably be like Times New Roman. Like, no matter what it says, you have to take it seriously. You literally say anything and you'd be like, oh, well, that's very important. We must listen to it. And he likened our generation to Comic Sans. Like, just no matter, if it said, hey, we have the cure for cancer, you couldn't take it seriously. You'd be all like, yup, sure. It's just because, I'm sorry, we just like, sometimes we're kind of losers. Like, we sit around just not doing anything with our lives, and so the older generations look at us like, what's your problem? Get a job, do something real with your life. So I'm going to challenge us by asking this basic question. Could we retire tomorrow? Nah. Could we retire in a year? Nah. Could we retire in 5 years? Nah. 10 years? Nah. What about 25, 30 years? Nah. Maybe. So then let's ask ourselves this. If we're not doing something today to retire in that amount of time that we said, then we're not going to retire. We have to be making conscious steps at all times to move toward a form of financial freedom or retirement. And yes, a 401k is a fantastic investment tool, but don't forget, you're investing into money that the government is just printing. The US dollar's going down so fast. Fantastic book, link in the description, fake money. It talks about that maybe 401ks aren't the best investment. Yeah, they are working for some people, but at any time the US dollar could just be trash. And this will be worth nothing. That wasn't real. I would never do that. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Another thing that makes us a lame generation is we try to diagnose away bad behavior. If you don't know what I'm talking about, let me elaborate. This is going to get really controversial, so I'm going to encourage you, just please watch it through before you get in the comments below and be like, watch to the end of it before you comment below. It's very easy for our generation to just have a doctor diagnose away our unkind rudeness, us interrupting, us being lazy, not wanting to face adversity. We all do it to a certain level or another. We say, oh, I have anxiety, so I don't want to get yelled at by my boss, so I'll just quit. Or, oh, that triggers my depression, so I won't do that. Or interrupt people in a nice conversation to switch the subject and be like, oh, I'm sorry, I have ADD. What were we talking about? Never mind. We all tend to do these things, and here's something we have to keep in mind. Every human struggles with all of this to a certain level or another. All humans have depression, all humans have anxiety, all humans have ADD, ADHD to a certain level or another. Now, I do want to say, make sure you've spoken to a doctor if you feel like you truly have a chronic case of one of these. But I also want to encourage you and to encourage ourselves. Sometimes we have to push through difficult emotions. So yeah, your boss yelling at you for being late triggers your anxiety. You're gonna have to learn how to push through it. If we always run from things that trigger our bad feelings, then we will never be emotionally strong people. Again, please make sure you see a doctor to make sure you don't have a chronic case of one of these things. But I do want to encourage you, be emotionally strong person and push past and push through some of these difficult things. And I want to say on top of it, in my opinion, ADD, ADHD, just don't be a rude person. Listen, and if your brain wants to change subjects, don't. Just listen to the person and have the normal conversation about the topic you're doing.
Hey, have you seen the new Avengers movie?
What?
Sorry, I have ADD.
No, that's just rude. And then question number 3, we need to stop worrying about silly things. And social media, guys, is not something to stress your brain over. Honestly, that's probably causing a lot of these things that we just previously talked about. So what if Jonah didn't like the post that you said, which was reacting to another guy's post, which was something you disagreed with? I mean, think about it. It gets really ridiculous, right?
So this guy said something that I thought was racist, and Jonah, you did not like my response to that, so you must be racist too!
We gotta just take a step back and relax. It's just cyber fights. It doesn't matter. So what? Gosh, and do you realize how much things can be misinterpreted through text? That's why face-to-face is the best way to talk to somebody, especially about serious issues. So stop worrying about it. Don't get involved in internet arguments. It's not helping anybody. Nobody ever in the world has been convinced by an internet argument. So just please, guys, we've got to stop. Is it worth stressing our brains out or getting frustrated over people that are probably just trolling anyway? The other thing is, this is going to be really controversial, but we've got to stop worrying about politics too so much. Yes, now I am saying go out, vote, be concerned, look into it a little bit, but in the end, if we're investors, America is stronger than our president. A good investor will make money regardless of what the president's doing, because we adapt. So we need to stop freaking out over the economy. We've just always got to figure out, adapt, adjust, and make money that way. And I know that sounds complicated. Again, books link in the description on how to do these sorts of things. Way too much topic for this video. Another thing I want to talk about, and this is going to be, yeah, good thing, maybe bad thing. Millennials living with their parents. I lived with my parents till I was 24. I realized I could have moved out a lot sooner. But at the same time, I wasn't paying very much money for rent. So if that's your goal, and you're actually doing something with the money you're saving, then living with your parents can be a good thing. Statistics show that there's a huge percentage of millennials still living with their parents and not doing anything to move out. I want to encourage you, if you're a millennial right now, try to figure out how to move out. And if not, and you're actually saving up money to invest or to go to college or something like that, fantastic. Get an accountability partner to make sure you're not just spending that money on useless things like expensive clothing or entertainment. Make sure you're actually saving that money. And also make sure you're not obnoxious to your parents. If they ask you, can you please be home at this time? Be home at that time. So I want to challenge you, think over these, find out which ones you're doing, which ones maybe you can improve on. So that way we can change our generation from being a joke of a generation to an unforgettable generation. I'm living my best life, living my best life. So come and get it like I'm living my best life, living my best life. That's for my microphone.